Hello everyone, I am Infinitely Impossible, and I am stuck in an elevator. So I'm here today to do a quick review of the first two short treks that came out last little while, The Troubles of Edward and Q&A. And I figured in honor of these, I would film my Star Trek Online character in an elevator. Okay, so first quick thoughts is... So I'm going to do some first quick thoughts and then jump into each episode in succession. Um, These are much more fun than regular Discovery episodes, a lot easier to watch. They still have giant issues with canon and don't fit in the Star Trek timeline, but that's expected. I just kind of figured Discovery is its own thing, regardless of what CBS says, so that there is the original series in Discovery, but it's a different original series than what we see when we watch the actual original series. That makes sense. Uh, First thought about watching Q&A was, why does the Enterprise have hundreds of miles of empty space in it? Turbolift is an elevator shaft. It should operate the same way, and it does in literally every single other version of Star Trek, where it's just an elevator shaft and not some big weird empty thing in the middle of an empty thing. It's like the Enterprise is bigger on the inside. They apparently have Time Lord technology now in Discovery. Oh well. So I watched them a few times. They're short enough for me to go back without taking too much time. Let's get back into it. So first thought is I absolutely love the new Discovery uniforms. Why didn't they use them at the beginning, or at all, really? You know, they tested the colors in when they were settling on the regular uniforms, but whatever. They're very pretty. A number of other YouTubers have criticized a bit about number one telling Spock to bombard people with questions. Still gets annoying, but my first reaction to that was, oh my god, what the hell? But as I watch it a few more times, like, you know what? That's actually... It's not so bad. I think she's just having fun with him. Number one is always described as a bit Vulcan-like in the cage anyway, from what I remember. On repeat viewings, I actually really like this way the two characters interact. They're a good fit for each other, and sword chemistry lacking for the main Discovery cast. And I have to talk about this a bit later on, too. They're stuck in an elevator. So why does engineering know that they can transport them with a turbolift? That's a common complaint I've seen. That said, I think it actually was mentioned in the original series episode. I think it was Day of the Dove, about site-to-site transportation within a starship being really dangerous, so that is probably why. That's the one where, one of the Klingon episodes where they have to sing the enemy off the ship. They're placed full of phasers with swords and stuff. I'm pretty sure there's a site-to-site transport in there. It's mentioned it's actually kind of dangerous, so that would actually, if I'm accurate about that and not just dreaming it, that would actually explain why they're stuck in the elevator and can't just beam them out. Spike loves horses, as does Kirk and Picard. Seems to be a tradition for Enterprise captains. Now I want to see Captain Vakel Sean of the Enterprise F in Star Trek Online and Cowboy get up on a horse. Thanks, Discovery. Regarding Spock smiling, yes, he did it in the cage. It's technically a production error, as Vulcan culture hadn't yet been developed, as was the original pilot. Nothing had been developed yet for Star Trek. So regardless, it's old school canon, whether people want to acknowledge that or not. Discovery seems to be playing with this idea to have fun with it to make their own unique mark on the character. It's helpful to know this version of Spock is actually 13 years younger than it was the original series. I believe the short trek is when Spock first comes on board, which would place it 13 years before the Menagerie two-parter with Chairbound Pike. This version of Spock seems to like having fun with the fact he's half human, and he's never really seemed to explore that side of his character in the more version of Spock. There's a poke fun of the bit in Star Trek 4 where he does all these complicated questions, and the question comes up, how do you feel? And he can't answer it. And his mother is like, well, the computer knows you're half human, so it's asking you how do you feel. And Spock is like, does not compute. Yeah. So at first I hated this, for the Discovery Spock always smiling and whatnot, but I'm slowly warming up to it as long as I don't make it overpowering. It can always be explained away as he's going through a human phase, just as we would go through an emo phase or a goth phase, if I can use a bad example. Basically, Discovery knows he's half human and is trying to... In previous versions of the character, I've never really explored that. They treat it as a full-blooded Vulcan, so that kind of lets Discovery have its own unique mark on the character. I'm still kind of up in the air whether or not I like it or not. It just kind of depends where they go with it. I'm slowly warming up to it. The singing is fun, but utterly bizarre in the character for Spock. But I tracked this up number one messaging with Spock to see if she can get to him, as it were, kind of like a test to see how Vulcan this half Vulcan is. I somehow doubt she would try this with a full-blooded Vulcan, but she knows he's half human. And, you know, we've seen from the original series that Vulcans are sometimes subjected to a bit of racism on a commonplace. There's a number of incidents there. Well, Spock and McCoy arguing are always like kind of friends arguing each other, but then you have that Styles character on the Balance of Terror, who's being openly racist against Spock. And it's 100 years after Enterprise, so yeah. As I said, I don't think number one try this a full-blooded Vulcan. She knows he's half human. Is just trying to get a feel for who he is, because there's not a whole lot of half-blooded Vulcans. Final thoughts. I enjoyed this much more in my second viewing. It's fun in a way that Discovery's never really been. These characters, number one, Spock, have chemistry together. The regular Discovery characters not. Really grown to like this based on my interpretations of the characters just outlined, and if these are wrong, then the episode can die in a fire. It's pretty fun. I like warming up to like it. So, moving on. The Trouble with Edward. First reaction after viewing, oh my god, is that Sterling Archer? It is Sterling Archer. And I never knew how much I wanted to see Archer do Star Trek, and I do now. I really love what they did to the uniforms. Making new Discovery uniforms in TOS colors have the same color as the rest of the uniform, makes them look like updated versions of sweaters used in the Cage and where no man has gone before. Well done, well done. It looks really awesome, and as you can see here, I have actually updated my character to do the same things. Although I still can't get rid of the gold on the sides, but whatever. Now, this Aerostar technically didn't have the red uniforms, but who cares? I'm not going to be that nitpicky. The Disco Prize that wore is super pretty. Have a hard time fitting it with the canon version of the ship. Has an extremely different look in this time period. It's Cage and where no man has gone before, but boy is it pretty in that flyby. But yeah, I can always chalk that up to they had to refit in deep space to make it look update from the Cage to Disco. Then another update between Pike and Kirk to bring it back to the where no man has gone before look before it underwent yet another refit to look like it does in the original series. Yes, I'm crazy. That's fine. This is the ship that should have used for JJ Trek. Or even just use this ship design for the actual USS Discovery. The pizza cutter shape sucks. But this ship does not suck. It is really gorgeous, and I really, really love it. Want to see more of it. Back on topic. Hey, it's a new science house from Star Trek Online. It looks a lot better in person than I expected. I love that Discovery did pick up on the Star Trek tradition of science vessels having very different designs than the frontline main cruisers, although this is colored a bit by Star Trek Online's interpretation of what constitutes a science vessel. But yeah, the Oberth is a science vessel and it sticks like a sore thumb. There's the Daedalus and / Olympic style designs from, well, we've only ever seen a Daedalus Discovery design in Cisco's office, but it was a variation that was used for the USS Pasteur in All Good Things. Yeah, that's All Good Things. And the Nebula class, I think, is from TNG. Is technically you generally regarded as like a science vessel with its sensor pod on top. Yep. So yeah, I like that science vessels always have weird designs. That's good. Can we please have a Captain Pike ensemble show? Instrument is so good. Heck, I would like to see some full-length episodes of the crew in this episode. I really like them and the ship. I like them warming up to them better than I did do the main Discovery cast, because they actually have an ensemble cast where they're actually working together, not just everything fawning around one character. I love how they jazzed up the conference room from the original series and kept the weird 3-screen monitor. I have given the Discovery redesigns a lot of flack in the past, but I'm slowly warming up to them. Is that a Trill? I didn't think Trills were in Starfleet yet, but easy to overlook. Of course, the episode that we think crediting with Trills not being in Starfleet yet is also the same one where we established that they did actually have contact, because Dax covers up her spots when they travel back to the 2360s, but says that she slept with McCoy in medical school, which was decades earlier. So, yeah, there were Trills around in the original series there, and that's from Deep Space Nine, so it's not a Discovery invention. This Archer character, I'm just going to call him Archer. Love his voice, but my god, how did this guy get to be a top scientist on the starship? Real scientists aren't that socially awkward or incompetent. This guy is completely irritable and gets under my skin, and he doesn't even have to turn on his frickin' iPad. Come on. That's a bit much. For the record, Tribbles are from Klingon space and on to introduce the Federation Little Trouble Tribbles episodes. Way to screw the timeline, Kurtzman. This new captain was actually the lead in the Lead of Battle Angel, so I really like her in this episode, and I like the actress. Really good to see her some work. I want to see more stuff with her, because she was really good in this. Very young for captain, but I looked up the actress's age, so she's around 34-ish, so around the same age Captain Kirk became captain, so and he was one of the youngest, but didn't say the youngest, so this fits. And yeah, it's nice. I want to see more of her. Eating Tribble seems like a really dumb idea. So Starfleet genetically modified the Tribbles to be an ecological menace and then forgot they existed, just like everyone forgot the Klingon War wiped out like half the Federation, like everyone forgot Spock as a black sister who was an intergalactic celebrity, like how Daenerys Targaryen forgot about the fleet of ships in Game of Thrones. TOS mess all looked really good. I really don't like this Edward guy. I keep coming back to this. This episode is trying to be funny, kind of like the Orville, and it's not working for me. This Edward guy is incompetent, he's unethical, and he's really stupid. It's not believable to someone this stupid and socially awkward to get that far in Starfleet. And before you point out Barclay, he wasn't the chief engineer or chief scientist or anything. He was just a regular employee. And his social awkwardness didn't impact his ability to do his job. He wasn't bad at his job. But he was just really, really socially awkward and creepy, a little bit creepy, but that's for another video. This episode tries very hard to copy the Orville style of humor, and it almost succeeds. It's funny to see Star Trek do this after critics said Discovery so much better than Orville, but audiences have the opposite reaction. This tries very hard to be like kind of Archer in the Orville, with this Archer character being a Gordon Malloy type character, and it doesn't really work. It really wants to be funny, and it almost is. But it comes off as more cringy. So why is the C&C panel wearing the old Discovery uniforms when they officially transitioned out of them? Backing off for criticism, how can Discovery be expected to keep accurate with the 50 years of Star Trek canon when they can't even follow its own in-show canon? They didn't mention the Tribbles need to feed in order to breed, but I can let that pass. The original series didn't mention how they're feeding enough to breed so fast. I do want to say that I thoroughly enjoyed seeing what happens to a starship when they can't contain a Tribble menace. Because we've seen them overwhelm the ship, and then they deal with the problem, but we never really see what happens when they can't. And this is fun to see. So it makes me feel really sorry for, very, very sorry for Captain Koloff and the gallant crew of the IKS Groth. What Scotty did to them was incredibly cruel. And if you've seen the Deep Space Nine episodes, Trial and Tribulations, you know exactly. And sorry, not the Deep Space Nine episode, the original series episode. Tribble episode, then that you know exactly what I mean. Although Deep Space Nine episode is where we get the name of his ship. Man, what Scotty did was cruel. No wonder the Klingons are so pissed at the Federation. They genetically engineered an ecological menace, which nearly brought down the whole empire. And then Starfleet is like, oh no, that wasn't us, dude. We good? Overall, it's a pretty fun episode. Still a few problems with it, but I liked it a lot better than Season 1 short tracks and both seasons of Discovery. It kind of messed with the timeline, saying that it was actually Starfleet that made the Tribble menace, and everyone kind of forgot about this, because Tribbles are introduced in the original series as this brand new exotic creature from Klingon space, not Federation space. This episode tries to be as funny like Orville and almost succeeds, but need a different subject matter, and to not write Archer as such a bumbling idiot. The character Archer that this guy voices is a buffoon, but it just doesn't work with the actual voice actor doing live action. It ruined the episode for me. But stay tuned for the commercial at the end after the credits. It's really funny. Anyway, that's all for now. Feel free to leave comments, hate mail, etc. In the comment section below, and I will catch you later. Toodaloo, Caribou.